with your host, Lorena Acosta, who helps leaders and companies to reassess their voice on social media. In a digital era, your reputation is your brand, your personal brand. In this podcast, Lorena speaks with successful thought leaders such as authors, musicians, business owners, consultants, technologists, coaches, and changemakers who will share their strategies and marketing insights with you. Tune in and learn from these experts how to grow your own profitable business and brand on LinkedIn.
Hello. I don't know if you are here now, but tonight I have a guest, and my friend is Marta Nino. She's an amazing person, an amazing leader, but also she is a Latina, and really what attracted me was to her keynote speaking that she did at the company that she works and she represents, which is Adobe. The story that I read from her a few days ago in her feed, it was really amazing to see somebody who came from a very humble roots and who she is right now and who she represents. So, I couldn't stop thinking that I wanted to bring her in because I want you guys to know her and to also, get to know what she does and who she represents. And if your values are aligned with her values, I mean, why not follow her, right? So let me bring her in. Uh, Marta.
Hello, hola Lorenita.
Hola, Martita, ¿cómo estás?
Aquí estoy. How's everybody doing?
Well, everybody's here. I mean, I'm here right now. I don't know how many comments were there, but probably there is people right now watching us. So, Martita, please introduce yourself to my audience, please.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here, Lorena, with you. And
I am too.
Thank you for your audience too. Amazing, amazing, amazing. I couldn't wait to get on. But my name is Marta Nino like little boy. And I am here in the heart of the Silicon Valley. So all of those amazing companies that your computer uses, I probably have worked for one or two or three of them. Okay. I've been in hardware, I've been in software, I've been in services, and currently I'm at Adobe, and I've been there over 16 years, like a lifetime, right? But more importantly, I think the real me is just a humble person from Mexico. I was born in Mexico and came to the United States undocumented as an immigrant, like many of us Latinos have, which is a story nobody really talks about in tech. Because guess what? There's not many of us there.
Exactly.
So I had an opportunity to talk about it 2 years ago. And then prior to that, and it changed my life. It changed my life. Prior to that, I had never said that story, but I was still in tech. So I think it's actually amazing that I'm now like a little older than 25 and have the opportunity to tell people how I did that and how amazing people actually opened the door for me. It wasn't because I was a Latina. It was because we interview well, we network well,
Are loyal.
we're loyal, we work hard. There's so many other reasons, but that's just a little bit about me. And I want everybody to feel like they can enter these hard places too, but they need to believe in it.
Exactly. Martita, I am so excited to have you here. And really I want you to share with me with us, tonight. I read a post about when you and your mother used to go to clean warehouses at night.
Yeah.
So really that, I mean, my story is not like yours, but I'm very humble that, you humble me. When I read your story and how hard it is for many people to start, but also, God put somebody in your way right there in the warehouse, and look who you are right now.
Well, you know what? Thank you for bringing that up because that experience right there, that one experience, I was 14 years old, okay? I
Mhm.
was 14 and I needed to work. I mean, family didn't make much money, right? And my mom says, there's this job in the warehouse working with me that you can assist us with. And I said, okay, I'll work 3.35 an hour US. That's nothing, you guys. 3.35 an hour. And I went to work
Wow.
with her and she's in the warehouse and I'm trying to do what she does, okay? And the warehouse is hard work. I mean, it was hard work. And
What
quite
did you used to do, Martita?
This is kind of interesting. We used to make ceramics.
Mhm.
Ceramics. So
Mhm.
ceramics, before they're a ceramic, they're mud. They're literally mud.
Mhm.
And so our responsibility was to make sure that this mud thing looked nice and smooth. And quite frankly, I was horrible at it. I was horrible and I kept ruining these pieces. And for a business, anytime you ruin any piece, it's like dollars down the drain, right? So here's
Mhm.
this 14-year-old ruining basically this business. And the owner of the company, amazing woman, blue eyes, white pearls, blonde hair. I thought she was going to get mad at me. And instead of getting mad at me, she says, come with me to the office. That right there, come with me to the office, was the first time in my family that anybody had been in an office. Anybody. I entered the office and it was like entering a new world. And that gesture from this amazing person changed everything for me. Because for the first time, literally, she opened the door and then I was in a place that I had never been in. I was sitting in a nice chair while my mom and, all of her coworkers and all of my coworkers and some relatives actually were in a cold warehouse, wearing jackets. It's dirty, it's muddy, like it's gross.
There
And
is no heaters.
no heaters. I mean, a heater, what a luxury, a heater. For me to be able to get up and go to a refrigerator in an office and get a drink without having to be on break, and punch a card, like that was like surreal to me. But
I'm
there was
sorry.
no, that was part of learning. I didn't know any better. I just knew that this was pretty cool stuff and I wanted to keep being in it. So it was so funny because it was the 80s. So I'm like, 27 years old, right?
No, but I say I'm sorry because I didn't have that, and I never imagined. Now, when you're telling me what you went through, I'm grateful for what I had, right? And I feel sorry for others who can have it.
Right. And this is
But
one of these
but
stories.
that's why I brought you here, because your story. I mean, you raise you up, and look where you are right now.
Yeah.
So, okay, go ahead, continue,
Yeah,
because
and that was only the step, right? That was so it takes steps to get to Adobe, right? But that was just the first step. Remember, I'm 14 years old, and so, anyways, make a long story short, the boss, her name was Beth, Beth, which is she's an angel, rest in peace. She says, "Do you know how to type?" I'm 14 years old. I don't know how to type, right? But she says, "Do you have computers at your school?" I'm no. But we have typewriters. You know the big typewriter.
yes, 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 I use that. I use that.
Yeah, she's like, take
I
that.
learned how to do that when I was in
Yeah,
middle school.
yeah. And
Yes.
so I took that class and I learned how to type. And then from then on, I didn't leave the office. I was doing all her billing. I was, doing anything she told me. I would do tours of the warehouse. Tours of the warehouse where I would show everybody how they made these amazing pieces. And there was my mom. And my mom, every time I walked to the warehouse, my mom was so proud that that was her daughter giving the tours.
Mm.
So I came from the office into the warehouse. And it was just surreal to me. And I didn't realize not that until now that I'm older, that was a big deal, getting into the
Of course,
office.
it is a big deal.
And so this mentor of mine took me under her wing and had me answer phones and had me go with her on sales calls. I went to my first trade show, which, by the way, for anybody who has never been into like an office environment, leaving like a town is a big deal. What do you mean you're going to stay in a hotel?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So that was a bit. I had to stay with my uncle Pedro in Los Angeles. That's where I stayed in East LA. It was not
Martita,
I'm gonna write about that one day.
you need to.
Oh my goodness. But she definitely opened the doors for me. And that was my first experience in the office. And when I worked with her for 6 or so years, throughout all my high school. And
Uh-huh.
my father passed away during that time. And they were very concerned about me, like they were family. And
Mhm.
guys, it's hard to leave family. I didn't want to leave my family. So talk about loyalty, right? Here was this American person, somebody who looked zero like me, right? And I wanted to do anything for her because guess what? She broke the cycle of my, working in warehouse work.
For your family.
My whole family, my
Mhm.
kids are going to have different upbringings because of this woman. So
Mhm.
18, 19 years old, company moves to Mexico because there was, everything is being manufactured out of anywhere else that wasn't the United States, right?
Mhm.
And they said, Martha, would you like to come with us to Mexico? And I said, I can't. My father just died. I can't leave my mom. Remember, we can't leave family.
Yeah, no.
No, we can't leave family. So I
Mhm.
didn't leave. And then I ended up working at another company. And this time as a accounts receivable office manager type of work. And that was another step to another job. And then from there, I have to tell you, I was lured in by the competition of that company, and they're dangling dollars in front of me. They said, we'll pay you whatever X amount more. And I went for it. And that was the biggest mistake of my career because guess what? I just left family for money because I'm young. I'm 20 years old, right?
So
And
you left her.
well, this was a different company. I mean, Beth ended up going to Mexico. I couldn't go with her. So I ended up at a different company. And then, you know what? I was out of a job. In my early 20s, I was out of a job and I needed a job because we need to pay bills. And back then there was no LinkedIn. No, this is so amazing that there's a LinkedIn here. Link me in. But this is so amazing that there's a LinkedIn because back then, the way that we found jobs was through our friends, was through agencies. It was a lot of work. It was a lot of work. And I don't think there was even Starbucks and coffee places back then.
No.
Do you remember? That's a new thing for us, right?
Yes.
And so we would have to, one of the guys that worked in that warehouse actually became my friend. This is why it's so important to never burn bridges. He became my friend and he ended up working at a place and, he recommended me somewhere and I went and there was a agency, those temp agencies. And they said, we have this job this is what I heard. I heard sand, como arena, like sand from the beach. It was a sound company. When I went in, so I was like, I guess I was going to work in the sound company now. I didn't even know what they made. It was sound for computers, like this sound that's coming into the computers. But back then, computers were the size of a refrigerator because I'm a dinosaur, right? So I ended up at this sound company and, I basically did whatever they told me. Whatever they told me. And my manager at the time, his name was Ken Fong. And he sat me down also. So he was like another Beth to me. He
Mhm.
sat me down after a few months and he says, Martha, what do you want to do? And I said, I don't really know. I don't really know. And he said, you can do this, go the administrative route, or you can do this and go the management route. And I said, I don't know how to do that. He said, we'll teach you. So he saw potential in me. And then I ended up working under an amazing woman who's now an executive at Adobe. And she taught me. And from then on, that was my sound experience. And then I went on to mobile. From there, then on, I went on to software. And 25 years later, here I am with you, Lorena.
So proud of you. I am so proud of you. I am proud of you. You
Thank
know, this is amazing. And
Thanks.
that you are the proof that is possible.
Thank you so much. And
You know,
it is possible. It is
of
possible.
course.
And I didn't get into those jobs because I was, so and so label or so and so. I got into those jobs because I worked hard and I kept good relationships and I applied. And I just went for it, even if I didn't know 100% of what the job was. You learn those things. And people like the Beths and the Kens and the Malas, that was the executive at Adobe, they take a chance on you. They take a chance on you, and you are loyal to them. You're loyal, you're going to work hard because they just change your family's life.
Yes.
So talk about retention. For anybody who owns a company, that's the value of somebody like me. We appreciate that. Everybody appreciates it, but it's you got to get to know, if you want to know.
But I think that loyalty is a big thing
Absolutely.
into the I don't know if it's all Latin America, but I can tell by for us in Mexico, loyalty is very important.
Yeah. You know what, Lorena? I think loyalty is important for anybody. Anybody. Any nationality, anywhere
Yes.
you come from. If you are good to those people will be good to you. And I talk to a lot of younger, professionals, and that's the one thing I go to wherever those people where it feels good. Where it feels good. And because you're going to enjoy it. And if you enjoy it, you're going to stay longer. And for goodness sakes, all those companies, make them
If
enjoy.
you're happy, you will stay.
Yes, exactly. And you're going to work hard, but those people also need to know, like, what is it of a person like me that makes me stay? Well, I
Mhm.
want it to feel like home.
Exactly.
I
So
want
that talks very much about the leadership on Adobe.
amazing. Adobe's been
You know,
amazing to me.
this is great to know that Adobe has a great culture and a good leadership because it's important to feel safe. It's important to be happy when you are at work. It's important to have harmony because you spend a lot of hours with them.
Yes.
And
And you
then
know what? It was important that feeling safe is so important, Lorena.
Mhm.
That's the reason why I decided to speak after 14 years at that time of being at Adobe to actually speak. I felt safe. I,
Good.
I felt safe. And I said, you know what? These people have been here 15, 14 years, whatever it is. I'm going to talk. And I felt safe. So thank you, Adobe, for doing that.
That's awesome. I'm so happy and I'm so proud of you. Your story is so inspirational,
Thank you. Thank
you
you.
know?
And you know what? There's only 3-4% of Latinos in tech. They tech needs
Why
diversity.
why you think why
Why?
you think that there is no Latin gang working in the tech industry? Why?
Well, first of all, I don't think we have samples in our home that worked in tech. So, I mean, when you're thinking of ideas of what to do as a profession. I mean, you don't have a tío, a tía, an uncle, and aunt that has done this. So you don't have that. And so I think that's one of the things people need to see me, seem to see people like me or other people in tech that look like them so they can say, oh, wait, she went and she's there. Maybe there's a possibility. So I do think that more people need to go, yes, I am here. And that was the beautiful thing about finding my voice, a couple of years ago and letting everybody know who the heck it was. Otherwise Martha was just, there typing along, not telling her story.
Mhm.
They wouldn't have known that I came from a coal warehouse, from a grass shack in Mexico, that I came here and documented. They would have not known that. So I think it's super important for there to be examples. That's one of them. And the other thing I think is I think companies need to realize there's a value in having people like us, the loyalty. Here in the Silicon Valley, we're right in the backyards of all these tech companies, right in the backyard, and by all means, I also think people just need to apply. People just need to ping people that are in those industries.
Yeah,
Use
but also Marta, I think
Mhm.
that right now, I mean, everybody's watching and they're watching what kind of culture if each company has.
Yeah,
Because in the end of the day, you don't want to go through another fail out.
right.
Because not because you were bad or because you weren't doing the task that was required, but because of the culture.
Yeah,
Who
it's
wants to work for somebody who doesn't have control into a toxic culture? Nobody.
nobody. People leave right
So
away.
right now, people is watching. I mean, I have friends who are looking for jobs, and they're like, I need to have the job, but I rather don't take that job in that company.
Yeah.
People talks.
Yeah, they talk, absolutely. So look for those people at those, do research. Research is so
Yeah,
important. Do research at these companies. Do research with the people that work at those companies. Don't be
exactly.
afraid to reach out to those companies. And don't get
Talk
offended.
to the employees.
Talk to the employees.
Follow the employees of the companies.
Yes,
You
yes,
will
yeah.
see and you will read through their lines
Yes,
what they are saying. Because
yes.
I worked for the hospital industry for 32 years.
Mhm.
And I was always proud of the company that I was representing.
Yes.
I was proud. I feel that I was the owner every time I sit with that client
Yeah,
because I love the companies that I work. I love the product that they had.
yeah.
Some of them not the culture, but but the product that they have, it was great.
Well, it's important that you say that because, one of the things I do at Adobe or, did back before COVID was actually, how I used to give tours at that warehouse? I continue to do tours at Adobe. I would offer my time at Adobe during lunchtime. And, lunchtime, there was a lot of people, kids from different areas. Right here, there's a big agricultural community in California. Kids would come from those places, and anyways, I was a tour guide along with a senior marketing manager. That's what I do, like at Adobe. But it humbled me. It humbled me to see these amazing people come to here, and I would show them this amazing place. I was proud. I am proud to be at this place,
This is
and
so nice
I wanted them to see that
that you're happy.
I'm happy,
That is possible.
and there's people like them
Yes, that
that
is possible.
I was a kid like them, and there I was. Because I have to tell you, one of the biggest changing, and one of the reasons I started talking was I was doing a tour one time, and one of these kids started to cry. And I said, "What's happening? ¿Qué pasa?" And he said, I don't think I could ever beat this company. And I said, why not? He's all, there's nobody that looks like me. I'm like, I might have red hair, but guess where I come from? And that's when I had to start humbling myself and tell the real story, not the LinkedIn version story of Martha, not the resume story, the real story of Martha. And it
The
changed everything.
human being.
The human story of Martha.
The human being.
Yes.
Your story, your raw story that
Yeah.
maybe nobody knew in the past.
Nobody did. Nobody did.
So everybody was surprised. And I hear that there was a lot of people right there in when you give your keynote. Who was there? Who assist to the keynote?
Well, there's 1,200 people there, but the CEO was in front of me, and behind and backstage, Gloria Estefan, come on, shake your body, baby, do that.
Yes, the singer, yes.
She was there, and I was nervous. I was so nervous, and another Latina, she was there, and I was scared to death to talk. And I think I told you, Loda,
And Microsoft was there too, right?
Microsoft was not there.
I'm just kidding.
That would be funny. But I use my. It's okay. Anyways, a lot of people were there, and I have to tell you, Loden. Hi, Glenn.
Glenn is there? I don't see you without glasses.
It was so funny because I was so nervous, and I never have. Oh, by the way, I had never talked in my life, right, on a stage, especially. So out of 600 or 700 stories, mine was picked to be the keynote, like the closer. I was like, no pressure, right? And before, I didn't realize you get really nervous in these stages, right? And I went to the bathroom. It's so funny. I went to the bathroom and I looked.
You're gonna share that, Martha?
I had to do it.
Are you gonna share that, Martha?
Did I? You guys,
let's ask the audience if they want to know that
guys,
part. I know that part, and I don't know if you want to really share that part, Martha. Come on.
Okay, just know that speaking is
Martha.
Speaking is a lot of work, and you get nervous. You get really nervous. And bottom line is, Gloria Estefan was there, and you know who the best person of that audience was?
Share it, Martha. Share it.
No,
I know you want to share it.
Wait, I had to finish it. My mom was there.
Yes.
My mom was there. My mom and my daughters were there, and it was quite a moment because my mom Yes, Gloria's stepmother, yes, the CEO was there, and but I was really, really nervous about my mom. I mean, here was my mom who came undocumented to this country, and there I was on a stage, vulnerable, vulnerable. I could, anything could have happened. I could have fallen. I could have forgotten my words. I could have anything, right? And after the whole talk was over, I told her, Mom, ¿qué pensó? What did you think? And she says, Mija, I was so scared for you, because as a mom, for the first time, she couldn't. She told me she couldn't protect me. She couldn't protect me. Our whole journey to this country was all about protection and hiding and keeping silent. Okay, once you cross that border, you're told to be silent. You're told not to say anything, and that stays in your head. That stays in your head. And I have to tell you, I took that to work for many, many, many years, and I was silent. Again, I haven't talked to about this story up until 2 years ago. I'm 48 years old. It took me 46 years to speak about this because we don't talk about that. We don't talk about that. So
Why, Martita? Why?
because it's risky, Lorena. It is risky. We have in this country, when somebody's undocumented, guess what happens if they don't have papers? They could go back to their country. That's the biggest risk of any immigrants. You don't want to go back to that. I mean, if you come from, there's immigrants that come here with money, and that's fine, and they come here with visas, and that's amazing, awesome. There's immigrants that come here with nothing, like me. They're not going to risk saying something because they might have an accent, that all of a sudden they're going to be questioned about their documentations. They might lose that one job that was going to change
So
their
you
life.
were quiet all those years, Marta?
Yes. Yes, you're quiet all of those years until you become comfortable and safe. I am comfortable. I am safe. And this is why I speak about these things. And I say it like it is. I say I have zero to lose. I want everybody to gain from my story. I want them to believe, because if I can do it, a person from dirt who's been silent for 40 something years, and I did it. And I did it. But guess what happened the moment my voice opened up? The world opened up. And many people started to come forward, to me saying, oh, I have the same story. Oh, my mom is like you. Oh, yeah, not their sister, their mom, because I'm old. A lot of kids, or, I have the same upbringing, or, I was nervous about this. And it was so amazing. I'm like, I can't stop. I can't stop. So that's why I speak. And yes, I was silent for all of those years. No, again, nobody knew. I mean, I could pass for, another culture. Nobody knew that I came from where I come from, right? And my mom didn't want me to say much about it because she's still scared. She's still scared, but I think people need to hear real stories. They need to hear real struggles, and they need to hear that real people overcome them, and that there's real people out there ready to support them.
Like you?
Like me. Like me.
Just like you.
Like Adobe. Like there's so many, like you, Lorena.
Exactly.
Like you. There's so many amazing people that can open doors, that can embrace you, like Beth, like Ken, like, Mala. Like there's so many people.
Yeah, I have a friend that during COVID, before COVID, lost his job, and I helped him to find a job, and he's the happiest man in the world. He loves me because he loves his job. I had the opportunity and it went. I mean, I don't want anybody to think that I found jobs, because I don't find jobs. I have nothing to do with jobs. Okay, so don't send me requests for jobs, because I don't. Please, guys, please,
Yeah.
just to know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. People are appreciative, Lorena. People are appreciative.
course.
And what I think people appreciate is that they can go out there and find a job being themselves. Because guess what? I mean, you can practice that resume all day long. You can memorize it all day long, and you can fake it at your work for 2, 3, 4 months. But sooner or later, people are going to find out who the real you are. And you know what? Pretending sucks.
Yeah, that's so important. Personal branding. My daughter is walking down, guys. I'm sorry, but I'm live right now. So
Pretending
And the
stinks.
dog is barking.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. But that's real, right? The dog barks. It's okay. Those are real things. They happen
It's
to us.
true. I'm in a house.
Yeah,
So Martha, so that's why it's so important, personal branding.
personal branding is super important
Tell
because
tell tell, tell my audience why you think personal branding is so very important.
I didn't know about personal brand. To tell you the truth, whatever my brand is, it happened by accident. Or maybe it didn't. I don't know. But here's the importance of branding. We are in a competitive environment, guys. We're in a competitive environment. Nobody knows who we are
Mhm.
unless we tell them. That piece of paper on LinkedIn, that piece of paper on LinkedIn looks exactly the same as it does for you, that it does thousands and thousands of other people. So
Yeah.
guess what people do? They go and Google your name and try to find out who the real person is. So they could get an idea of which amazing person you are, so that by the time they bring you in, they know a little bit about you. They know a little bit about you, right? And it's important to be yourself consistently. Not only when you're looking for a job, all the time.
Yesterday I post something, and a guy who's connected with me for 5 years. When I share something about my sister, when my sister died, and what I went through, he comment, and he's Joel Myers. He comment, and he says, Lorena, I still remember when that happened.
Mm,
So when you bring back those things, and it's the same story, right?
yeah.
You don't change the story; it's the same story,
It's just and
because you're being true to your audience. You're telling them the way it is.
yeah, and
So I was surprised.
yeah, say it the way it is, because it is really hard to keep up with lies, guys. Like, these are your real stories. This is what happened to you. This is
Mhm.
what happened to Lorena. This is what happened to me. And you know what? If we are ourselves,
And
we
it's okay. It's okay.
what did I tell Lorena? Whatever. No, no, no. You told her the truth. You told her the truth. You
It's
told the
okay.
audience the truth. Tell the truth and say it exactly how you are.
Exactly. Raw, bold, and authentic. That's the only way. Because in the end of the day, I mean, just say it the way it is. I mean, you don't have to.
Right.
Remember where we are, right? And on what platform
Yeah.
we are. So, I mean,
Yes.
but but say it.
Yeah.
Say it, because your story can change many people's lives.
Yeah.
I mean, yesterday, with what I shared yesterday and what I shared before yesterday, that I went to anxiety and all what I went through.
It's real.
I mean, a lot of people really related to me, and they reach out
Yeah.
when they were in the last moment.
Yeah. And that's
And I was there.
yeah.
This is very important.
Yeah. But we're human. We are,
Yes.
and we go through human things, whether it's, every emotion you can imagine, depression, happiness, all of it, we go through it, right? We're human. And now more than ever, I mean, I'm sharing my human life with, I'm here. Like there is no separation. I'm not in an office anymore. My office is right here in the bedroom and right next to my daughter's, and there's human stuff happening here, right? And sometimes it's
Hmm.
good, sometimes it's bad. It's crazy. Sometimes a dog barks, whatever, right?
Hmm.
Human. We need to be human. We want to work with
Hmm.
humans, not with robots. Well, unless you're making AI or something, I guess. But yeah, no, I completely agree. And yeah, be your authentic self all the time, as often as possible, because we want to work with the real you, not the LinkedIn version, like the LinkedIn paper version of your you, right? And if you get called in
Oh
for,
my God, Martita, what did that means, Martita? What did that means, Martita?
it means that if you get called in, I think that a lot of times, especially young talent that comes out of universities, they've never been in like interviews and things like that, right? So I think that they overdo it sometimes on their, they try to be very, to the book, when in reality they should be, yes, there's some things that we have to follow guidelines, but there should also be an element of humanity. Maybe that's where the branding starts, Lorena, on that resume. Maybe you could do a video.
I truly believe, a year and a half ago, and 2 years ago, I went to the UCF, they invite me to talk about personal branding because to the kids who were going to graduate. And I was so happy because they needed. I invite them, I told them, follow me. And one of them right now has his company right now, his tech company right now here in Orlando.
Yeah.
Abby, hello, if you're watching me.
Hi, Abby.
I am your supporter 100%.
I'm here in
You
San
know,
Francisco. Let's do coffee.
yes. So, I was very happy to be around all this. And I brought my daughter. The two times that I went, I said, you need to come. She needs to learn. And now she opens up as well her LinkedIn account. She needs to start making those relationships.
As early as possible.
Of
Mine
course.
started, mine started at 14 years old.
Yeah. Yeah, let me tell you something. She just submit her first application for her first college application.
Yes.
Yes, I was like, yes, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
Oh, super excited. She's super excited. Super excited. She's ready to leave.
Hey, I have one too. She's ready to leave too. And
Yeah,
she's
yeah, yeah,
she's
yeah.
talking to USF. I should probably talk to you about that later.
So Martita, what is what you're trying to achieve here, being present on LinkedIn?
Look, Lorena, I mean, I think that, I'm just trying to scale my story and scale the opportunity of opportunities out there and let people know that we can apply for that job, we can do it by ourselves, we can learn us help for branding, yes, absolutely, but I want to show that there's a different side of these corporations, and I want to show these corporations that there's different sides to us too, so I want people to be comfortable in their own skin at these companies, and these companies be comfortable with people like us.
Awesome. I love this. Guys, now Martha. You listen her, you hear her story, you know who she is. Um, follow her if you feel that her values and her story, is you feel that is somebody that you will like to learn something from.
Thank you, Lorena.
I just don't follow her. I connect with her, and you don't know how much I love her.
I love you.
So, Martita, so do you want to add anything else to this conversation? Guys, I cannot reply messages or anything because I can see without my glasses. Okay. So, yes,
You're like,
I'm 50. I'm 50 years old. Come
look at us.
on, guys. Come on, be nice.
Yeah, look at us.
Oh, hey, guys. Yes, we can see without glasses. So later on, I will reply to all the messages. But
Look,
wisdom, Martita.
well, you know what? It's funny you say that about wisdom. The other day I had some white hairs here. I overshare sometimes, but my daughter says it's wisdom, mom. It's wisdom.
No, it's not wisdom. Go color them.
They're colored now. I colored them.
Yes. No
But
wisdom.
experience. Learn from people who have done it. You ask what I can say. Learn from the people who have done it.
Yeah.
Learn from the companies that are doing it.
Yes.
And by all means, don't
You
be.
have no idea how happy I am that you are recognizing the leadership style and the values, the core values, the mission, of the brand that you represent, Marta. This is something important for my audience, and I think for everybody to know, because in the end of the day, Adobe is everywhere, right?
Yeah, Adobe's
You,
everywhere.
you,
I've been
so
and I want to be everywhere, guys. So
exactly. So, guys, thank you for showing up tonight, Martita. I really appreciate that you came. This is your platform. Use it if you need it.
Well,
You know,
whenever you want me, I'm here for you. And you guys will only get real Martita, from me. And you know how to connect. Link me in. Connect with Martha@gmail.com. I also have. We should probably send out my video or something. But I want to thank you for having me on your platform,
of
Lorena,
course, Marta.
audience, and whatever I know, I'll share it with you guys. Not a problem.
Martita, I send you hugs. Was a pleasure to have you here. Okay.
All right.
Guys, thank you for being here tonight with us. Now if you like Martita, and if you want to follow her, just follow her. She's an amazing human being. She has a great story. She loves diversity and inclusion. And she represents not only Adobe, but also she represents the Latin community. So be busy being awesome. Have a good night. I love you. Bye now.
Everybody, adios.